Minnesota has been awarded nearly $2.5 million in damages and civil penalties from a fraudster who exploited a food program serving hungry children. The Fox 9 investigators have been tracking this case that dates back to the pandemic. Let's bring in Paul Blume now on this one. And Paul, we understand the fraud scheme involved tens of thousands of false claims made to the Department of Education.
Yeah, Karen, this case will sound familiar to the massive Feeding Our Future fraud scheme, as it involves one of the same exploited federal food programs from that same time period. In this particular case, the state went after the individual in civil court. A jury finding Emeldine Ibrahim submitted more than 90,000 false claims, totaling nearly $200,000 in bogus reimbursements back in 2021. That money earmarked for meals and snacks to serve hungry children during the pandemic. The Attorney General's office recently went to court to fight for damages and other fines under Minnesota's False Claims Act, where civil penalties can be increased exponentially beyond the actual theft amount by law. The Fox 9 investigators had permission to record some of those courtroom arguments.
Mr. Ibrahim presented or caused to be presented 90,636 lies to the state government in an attempt to get money. That warrants sanctions. That warrants civil penalties.
The gravity of the offense here is monetary only, economic only, and one of the measurements when determining civil penalties is whether or not anyone was actually subjected to physical harm or injury. Here, nobody was. This is an economic damages issue anyway. Nominal, minimal in terms of gravity.
Well, this week, a Hennepin County court judge signing off on nearly $2.5 million in damages, civil penalties, as well as attorney's fees and court costs. So nearly 13 times the amount of the documented theft. Tonight, we have this from the Attorney General. Quote, the severity of the damages and penalties the court awarded should be a wake-up call to anyone even thinking about defrauding the state of Minnesota. Not only will you face criminal consequences, but the Minnesota Attorney General's office will pursue you under civil law to recover Minnesota's taxpayers' hard-earned dollars. Karen.
All right, Paul, you've been tracking the state's efforts to actually claim back some of this taxpayer money that's been stolen by the fraudsters. Where does this case fit into all of that?
Well, the Fox 9 investigators have done extensive reporting on the issue of restitution ordered over in criminal cases. This one, of course, different in that it is a civil judgment. But our reporting found that the payback rates have been pretty weak. We analyzed dozens here of convictions from the Attorney General's Medicaid Fraud Control Unit since 2020, finding that defendants owing millions of dollars in restitution, but records showing that the state had recouped less than 18% of the $13 million plus dollars that have been ordered. In some cases, defendants, like this one, even discharged from their probation despite making few or even zero payments. So we'll keep an eye here on Ibrahim's case moving forward. And of course, you can read and watch our Fox 9 investigator fraud coverage online on our website, fox9.com, or of course, the Fox local app. Paul Blume, Fox 9.